The Narcissist's Last Stand. In the quiet town of Willow Creek, a man named Daniel had finally reached his breaking point. For years, he had been in a toxic relationship with Clara, a woman whose charm masked a deeply narcissistic and manipulative nature. Daniel had given her everything: his time, his energy, his love, but it was never enough. One day, Daniel made the brave decision to walk away. But what he didn't realize was that Clara wasn't going to let him go without a fight. The breakup. Daniel had always known Clara was difficult, but it wasn't until the end that he saw the full extent of her toxicity. She would gaslight him, making him doubt his own memories and perceptions. She would isolate him from his friends and family, leaving him vulnerable and alone. But the final straw came when Daniel discovered Clara had been lying to him about everything: her past, her intentions, even her feelings for him. "I can't do this anymore," Daniel said, his voice trembling with emotion. "I'm done." Clara's response was cold and calculated. "You'll regret this," she said, her eyes blazing with anger. "You'll never be free of me." The spiritual attacks. At first, Daniel thought Clara's words were just empty threats. But soon after the breakup, strange things began to happen. He would wake up in the middle of the night, his heart pounding, his mind racing with thoughts of Clara. He would hear her voice in his head, whispering lies and planting seeds of doubt. "You'll never find anyone better than me," the voice would say. "You're nothing without me." Daniel tried to brush it off, chalking it up to stress and anxiety, but the attacks grew more intense. The nightmares. Daniel began to have vivid, unsettling dreams. In these dreams, Clara would appear, her eyes filled with malice, her voice dripping with venom. "You're mine," she would say, her voice echoing through the darkness. "You'll always be mine." Daniel would wake up in a cold sweat, his heart pounding, his mind racing. He couldn't shake the feeling that Clara was still with him, still controlling him, even though she was no longer in his life. The awakening. It wasn't until Daniel sought help from a spiritual counselor that he realized the truth. Clara had been using dark magic to bind him to her, creating a spiritual tie that drained his energy and corrupted his soul. The counselor explained that Clara's narcissism had driven her to extreme measures. She couldn't bear the thought of losing control over Daniel, so she had resorted to spiritual warfare to keep him trapped. The battle for freedom. Breaking free from Clara's spiritual grip wasn't easy. Daniel had to confront the darkness within himself, renouncing the ties that bound him to Clara. He fasted, prayed, and sought deliverance from the curse. The process was grueling. Clara's spirit fought back, using every trick in its arsenal to keep Daniel trapped. But with the help of his counselor and a supportive community, Daniel began to break free. The aftermath. Now, Daniel is a changed man. The curse has been broken, but the scars remain. He is no longer bound by Clara's manipulation, no longer controlled by her dark magic, but the experience has left him wary. He knows now that darkness exists in the world, and that some people wield it like a weapon. He has learned to trust his instincts, to listen to the warnings of his higher self. And though the memories still haunt him, Daniel is no longer a victim. He has reclaimed his life, his energy, and his soul.